Hey, what's happening? It's Bill Smith. There have been a lot of new Q posts in the last few days. We're going to cover a few of them. But first, I owe Ann Coulter an apology. She was one of the first people to get on Trump about the border policy. I mean, we're getting flooded. There are things happening, but I'm not happy. And I voted for a border. The existence of a border. That's what I voted for. I love Donald Trump personally. I'd love to meet him someday. I think he's a good guy. I think he's, personally cool. I'd love to drink a cup of tea with him sometime. But I didn't vote for him because I like him. I vote him because I want action. I want a border. Okay? That's what I want. Deport these people, man. Enforce it. Bunch of pedophiles, rapists, drunk drivers, who knows what, people being shipped in Pepsi containers and all kinds of other things. So just shut it down, man. We need a country. You got to have a border in order to have a country. So, Ann Coulter, if you're watching, I'm sorry. Trump deserves the criticism that you gave him. I was wrong for criticizing you on behalf of that. So I'm going to read this quote from her because Ann is perhaps the only person in the media willing to name the Jew. And that term is so bad. I hate that term, name the Jew. I hate it. No one says name the white guy, or name the Asian. Jews in particular have a very unique position in society. And saying that someone is Jewish is not a crime, it's not illegal, it's not anti-Semitic, it's just fact. All right? It's just fact to say that person is Jewish. And when the common American person goes, hey, Alan Dershowitz is Jeffrey Epstein's lawyer and they're both Jewish. Huh. Kind of makes you think. It's not an eye-opener, it just makes you think. So I'm going to read Ann's tweet now. It says, wow. Quote, Harvard law professor Alan Dershowitz was around Epstein frequently, declares Virginia Roberts in that court filing. Quote, Dershowitz was so comfortable with the sex, the underage sex, on the Lolita Express that was going on, that he would even come and chat with Epstein while Virginia Roberts was giving oral sex to Epstein. These are not high school kids learning sex for the first time, where maybe they don't have rules enforced, they don't have a good parenting system behind them. These are grown adult men in their 60s recruiting women as young as 14 to give them oral sex while they talk to their lawyer. Their lawyer being a Jewish man called Alan Dershowitz. Now, people are tossing around some theories saying that Epstein was a honeypot for the Mossad organization, the CIA basically, of Israel. And that Alan Dershowitz, being the youngest tenured professor in Harvard's history, being basically the LeBron James of legal basketball. Okay, Alan Dershowitz. He's Jewish and they all work together. And it just so happens that everything's coming down now. I haven't heard a lot from Alan Dershowitz. I just know that he's a coward. And I thought he'd be all over TV defending this situation, saying it's nothing to do about nothing. But he was on TV yesterday after I criticized him, saying, at least I wasn't mentioned in these court documents. That's this man's lawyer who watched him get blowjobs from this woman. This young woman, under 18. So, shout out to Ann Coulter. Keep up the great work. Alright, now somebody else criticized me in the comments saying, hey, I didn't show the black book. It's because we've all seen the black book. If you haven't seen the black book by now, you're behind the curve. This has been going on for years. Alright, I'm not recycling stuff. I've already covered it on my channel. Go to my main channel and check it out. But if you'd like to find the black book, or other information like that, Vote is the place to go. It's just like the Chans, but it's easier to navigate. It's got more people on it, more content, frequently updated. Here's some stuff about a recent Q post. It links over to Qanon.pub. It says, curious to know how Pelosi attempt to block and Pelosi's daughter inserted instead plays out. Now, I'll spend a couple seconds here. Y'all know Pelosi, Nancy Pelosi, right? All right, well, she's got two daughters, two of them. And the one they're talking about here is the normal one, the biological daughter, the one that's biologically a woman. Her other daughter is biologically a man. This is the first Pelosi quote-unquote daughter. This is Alex Pelosi. That is clearly a man. This is a divine androgyne, ex-gender type of person, Noahide world order. This is the religion they follow. You get an option. You either go gay, right? You sacrifice a kid to transgenderism, or you marry a transgender. So in this case, Pelosi, she's not Jewish. I think she married a Jewish guy. She's involved in this new world religion now of the Noahide order. And this is their transgender, this is their ticket. So she's not going to marry transgender. She sacrificed a child. So this is the transgender Pelosi, Alexander Pelosi. QAnon is referring to this Pelosi, Christine Pelosi. Specifically this tweet. So this came out just a couple days ago, marked on the Daily Beast. And she's trying to prep people. And she is basically saying that this is now real, and there's going to be a lot of Democrats involved, a lot of liberal people. And then you got to ask yourself, what's Mossad doing pushing liberalism in the United States? Why? What do they get? So I'll read the tweet. Christine Pelosi says, "This Epstein case is horrific, and the young women deserve justice. It is quite likely that some of our faves are implicated, but we must follow the facts and let the chips fall where they may, whether on Republicans or Democrats." We said enough, me too, right? So never let a good tragedy go to waste in politics. They see the writing on the wall. They understand this Epstein case is going to get them on all kinds of stuff. Not just Democrats, but Republicans, high-level, deep state-controlled politicians, some of which are probably global, are going to get caught up. Hopefully they get caught up in this. I don't like getting ahead of myself on this stuff. We had him one time. You understand that? We already had him one time. And Trump's labor secretary worked with Alan Dershowitz, his lawyer, to give him 15 months in county jail for 40 counts of underage sexual stuff. Not to mention all the other stuff they never even found. 15 months. The hard part about this was Epstein didn't even have to live in jail. He just went to jail and slept there. They give him a little cell over to the side, somewhere protected, cushy, comfy. He went there and he slept, and he'd get up in the morning and he'd go back to his office and hang out in Miami or Palm Beach. That's the crazy part about it. And the guy that gave him the deal, Alex Acosta, I think is his name, is Trump's labor secretary now. And he's really close to Pence, it looks like. So some of you have been following QAnon from the beginning, and you'll know about all these old videos that we did a year ago, a year and a half ago. Some of this might start to make sense very soon. The Q post that we're talking about was 3386. I just want to drop this in there because everybody likes looking at the board. It says the reply is to the previous post, and it says, "You didn't think the Epstein investigation began a few months ago, did you? It was all under the direction and oversight of Attorney General Jeff Sessions. Expect a lot more to become public in the unsealing process." So Jeff Sessions, if you remember, man, I pushed for him hard. This guy was my hero in the Senate forever. He's the only guy I liked, the only guy I felt like I could trust, that was genuine. And then he recused himself. So publicly, we've smashed this guy. And they Q debunkers throw the trust Sessions thing in our face all the time, or they try to. So I can't wait to watch a lot of people eat crow about this. One day I would like to meet Jeff Sessions, when this is all over with, and just thank him for his time and thank him for taking one for the team, because he's gotten bashed pretty good by us here for the last year. So the reply to that post is, Barr is not recused from the Epstein pending case, only the past case. So yesterday, they were running Drudge headlines saying, Barr's recused him from himself, and people thought it's going to be a Jeff Sessions thing all over again. So these two posts sum it up. This is not Jeff Sessions' Volume 2 of recusal. Barr is only recused from the past case, which has already been tried. Not the pending case now. And he's the Attorney General, and it's important because you want to keep this stuff close to Trump. So the Dem fight's coming, liberal outrage is coming, Pelosi's daughter inserted. Now, the end-all be-all for this is the Frazzle Drip video. It's not real. Don't go look for it. It's never been released to the dark web. It's not out there. It's real. Okay? It's real. And they did the Frazzle Drip meme and those Justin Roiland precursor videos to Rick and Morty. Unbelievable Tales, I think. It's if you go check my channel, my main channel, 2 sections down, you'll see it. But somebody somewhere has known about this Frazzle Drip stuff forever. The video's never been released. I hope it is soon. If it does, it's so bad. It'll be so bad for everybody, liberals included. So that might be why Pelosi, her daughter, is out in front. All right, moving on. We're going to go over some headlines. The dam is breaking. Okay, it's just about to bust. Like, there's a huge crack in the middle. And all these people I've been watching for like a year or two, watching them get away with crimes, I'm so aggravated, and I've thought, how are we in control if the Trump administration keeps allowing this stuff to happen? It doesn't hold these people accountable. And we kept trying to like just buy more time, saying, well, maybe they just got to set it all up, you know, and then they'll pop it, right? So I started a Twitter account specifically because of this guy, Ed Buck. He overdoses people a lot over in California, West Hollywood, in fact. I've talked to people in West Hollywood about this guy, Ed Buck. He was a major political campaign contributor to various people, including Adam Schiff in Adam Schiff's own district and Hillary Clinton. That's him on the left there. The headline is Democrat donor Ed Buck accused of human trafficking and revenge porn after a man dies in his home. The man's name was Gimmel Moore. He was from Texas. Shout out to him and his family. I hope you get justice. This is an insane story on the True Pundit, and the title says, Graphic Warning. Victim says he was raped as a young boy on a yacht by Bill Clinton. Tonight he tells his story. I did not go watch this, but it says that Thomas Paine, who you all know, plans to release the interview conducted along with now-deceased investigative journalist Jen Moore. So Jen Moore was found dead in her hotel room in D.C., I think about a year ago. I'd like to try to follow up on this story. This is whenever I was offline, and a lot of people were dying with blunt force trauma to the head, including that guy who was working to get pharmaceutical sales down. And like I said, when you see all this stuff happening, when you see people that Trump has empowered getting smashed, committing suicide with a hammer, it makes you kind of question life and like where your loyalties should be, you know, what you should really be up to. So if you want to focus on yourself and you don't want to chase this stuff every day, I don't blame you. And there's nothing wrong with having a good life, making some money, and supporting your family. Other breaking news. Market Insider. U.S. Customs just seized a ship owned by J.P. Morgan after authorities found $1 billion worth of drugs on it. What? I think this is the biggest ship ever, or the second biggest ship, and there was another large ship caught like 2 or 3 weeks ago doing the same stuff. So they're really trying to clean up the drugs. Like I said, the pharmaceuticals was a part of it, and that Jewish Sackler family that got everybody hooked on opiates, that was another big piece of this puzzle. So stuff is still happening. Pay attention. More in action over murder cover-up. FBI reveals murdered Arkansas senator plan to expose child pornography, child sex trafficking syndicate. The feds are now probing this. Thank God. I was wondering, how are you going to get Arkansided now? You know, is that possible if they don't have control of the White House? I covered this lady a little bit. I didn't do her a good enough justice. You can come check it out over here on True Pundit. All right, I'm going to leave it here. The censorship stuff didn't really work. It didn't help. Jews are still totally freaked out. This guy is black down there in Florida, and he was the principal of a school, and he just lost his job and was reassigned because he said that it's possible that the Holocaust was not factually correct, which I agree with. And now you have 25 U.S. senators meeting with Jewish leaders to plot a strategy against growing anger of anti-Semitism. Till next time, this is Bill Smith. Thanks for watching.